guys. Hey, thanks a lot for doing this. Hey, first off, just what's kind of the mindset in the locker room right now? Obviously, the start isn't what you wanted, but you still got a good bit of football left going into Villanova here. What's kind of the mindset in the locker room? And I'll pose that to both you guys.
I can start. I would say for us, the mindset in the locker room is really just be able to stay together. Sometimes it's not always about how you start; it's really about how you finish. Being able to pick your brother up and tell him, "Okay, that game's over. It's on to the next one. It's on to the next one." It's just taking everything day by day, step by step.
And piggyback off that, I feel like as a unit, we still have that brotherhood mentality of, yeah, it didn't go our way this time, but next week we have a chance to get back and go at it again. So that's our mindset going into this week against Villanova, I feel like.
Villanova's a team that has shown it can score. I know they've won 4 of their 6, but they're putting up big offensive numbers. Is this one where you guys kind of face a little bit of pressure to keep pace with them?
No, I wouldn't say we really feel pressure because we're not playing their brand of football. We're playing our brand of football, and we're going to play at our pace, and we're going to do what we need to do to make sure that we're playing our best version of football.
Brett, you're a pretty big kicker, man. How often do guys do a double take when they find out you're a 6'6" kicker?
To my knowledge, I don't know very much of it. Is people are like, I'll have people come up to me and ask, like, "Are you really a kicker?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And they're like, "Wow, I've never seen such a big kicker before." I'm like, I kind of get that one a lot, but like to me, it doesn't change my mindset of how big I am. I just got to do what I got to do every week.
Have you always been a kicker, or did you play any other position growing up?
Unfortunately, no. I wanted to play tight end, but my high school coach would not let me, so I've only stuck to kicking and punting through my career.
Are you an emergency linebacker or a tight end or anything? If the depth chart gets a little thin, no.
No, not to my knowledge.
Possibly. Get them out there.
Good.
So for you, you've been pretty effective this year. 9-10 on kicks, I think. Perfect on extra points. How much of, I guess, your success comes down to routine versus maybe preparation?
Routine is just got to be the same thing. You can't really change anything. And like preparation, I feel like every day we do field goal. So after a field goal period, we'll take a little break. Then we'll go back out when we have time, snapper, holder, and kicker, and we'll go out and get more reps. And we usually film. So we'll go back and watch that to see what little tweaks we need to make to be successful every time.
And I'm curious, since I've never seen a kicker like this, I'm just curious, does your style affect the way that you approach kicking in any way, shape, or form? Does it, is there anything you have to do different as opposed to somebody who might be 6'1" as a kicker?
With being my size, it does, because since I have longer legs than the normal kicker, I have to take my approach farther back. So that way it allows me to get my full momentum and power to go through and strike the ball.
Hey, Maxwell, you guys hit kind of a lull in the third quarter against Campbell. How do you guys kind of look to avoid that and, correct that and, get as close to a full 60 minutes as you possibly can?
Really, it just starts by us getting the call, executing, and basically staying on schedule. When you're in first down, second down situations, if you get behind the sticks, if you have bad plays, it can put you in a bad spot, and it just sets that whole drive up for a bad situation. Now you have to overcome that. But if we can stay on schedule and do the things that we need to do, it helps us drive the field and create those longer drives and maintain the ball.
And this week, Maxwell, you kind of spoke on it there, but kind of for you to be more specific, like what are some of the things you guys have done this week to specifically avoid, those situations where you end up, behind schedule or anything like that, to avoid what happened in the third quarter against Campbell?
I think it really just in practice getting a lot of situations in, putting us in situations where we feel we're going to get in the game, get in a situation in practice where we're backed up against the 5 or it's third and long or we get different situations, things that we're going to see in the game, so we can figure out how we're going to attack that, how we need to execute on the things that we need to do to get past those obstacles.
What do you guys say to the fan base that's kind of been out there, through the 2-5 start, and just trying to cheer you guys on? And what do you say to them about what they can expect going forward?
Like, to the fan base, really, we just need the support, all the support we can get. We just need them to keep showing out, to give us the energy to keep going, because their energy brings us alive. So I feel like them coming up and showing and not like skipping games can really help us to help them see the better progress.
Yeah, I could agree with him. I'll say like this is our football team, but we've also prided ourselves in being a football team at Hampton University. So it's the fans here, the people, the students that go here. I would say like if you really want to come support and bring that energy out for us, it's going to help us out every day because we feed off of that. That we come out here, play, practice, and put on shows for these guys every Saturday.
Kind of a tangent off of that, Brett. What's it like being a hometown guy at Hampton, product playing for Hampton University?
But being a hometown product, pride-wise, it feels good, but I try not to let that get in the way of what I do for this team. It's kind of something I wanted to do. I wanted to stay close to home, play football, do what I love to do. So, like, I've had people ask me, like, why'd you choose to stay here or, like, come here? And I'm like, I wanted to stay home. I feel like I could do a lot of good work here at this university, so that's why I chose here.
Question for Maxwell. It seems like, at least in the box score, your game has kind of been improving as the season's gone on. I think the last 2 weeks you've been Hampton's leading receiver. Obviously, the box score is not everything, but do you feel like your game has kind of improved as the season's gone on, especially playing with Braden at quarterback?
Definitely, I think my game has improved since I've gotten here. It's just really putting in the work in practice, being coachable, and putting the time off the field that, like I've talked about before with Braden, me and him watch a lot of film together. We talk about the stuff that we see on the field, things that we can attack. So it's just being able to practice that stuff and then be able to see it and execute in the game.
And Brett, looking ahead to Villanova, this matchup last year was a close game. Villanova was also ranked last year as well when you guys played them. Is there anything kind of going into this matchup you maybe might have learned last year, either on special teams or just the mindset kind of going into playing ranked conference foe?
I feel like the mindset compared to last year has changed a lot for me because last year, being my first year punting, I was a little nervous and shaky. So it's definitely a game I want to get back from last year, considering what all happened last year in that game. So I feel like going into this game, I've learned from what I did in the past, so I fixed everything. So I know what to do coming out forward.
And question for both you guys. Obviously, every matchup you guys are, excited and motivated to play, but is there just a little bit extra kind of feeling having a chance to knock off a ranked opponent?
I would say for me, and one thing that we try and tell our guys is we don't try to underestimate or overestimate anybody. We're trying to, like Coach Boykin always tells us every day, you got to practice the same, you got to train the same, you got to study the same, you got to treat every game the same. It's not, nobody is under anybody. Any given Saturday, you got to come out and bring your A game every time.
Something Coach Boykin always says is the next one's the big one because it's the next game. It doesn't matter if they're ranked or not, it's big because it's the next game going into.
All right, any more questions? All right, thank you guys.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we got head coach Trenton Boykin for you. Start off with an opening statement from coach, and then we'll open up the floor to questions.
Good afternoon, everybody, and just again, thanks for this opportunity to talk with you guys. We're just gonna keep fighting. We started off in the first half and thought we were playing well, and we're doing some positive things, and then in the second half, we just couldn't get going. You had I think we had 6 3 and outs. And we have to do better. We have to play again complementary football. You say that and a lot, and but it is. You have to be able to stay on the field offensively and help your defense. And again, I understand as defense, they take pride in, not giving up points and don't want people to score. But, at the same time, we got to do our part on the offensive side as well. You had some guys do some good things, but we have to find a way to put this whole thing together. We're playing too much in spurts and not all 4 quarters. So again, what we've talked about this week is playing 4 quarters, being great at what we do. You don't have to do a lot. Be great at the little things that you do. So that's kind of where we are. We're going to keep fighting. These young men came to work yesterday, was ready to go. Sunday we watched the game and made corrections, and it takes a collective. It takes all of us, and coaches and trainers and equipment people, and it takes it all, so everybody has to do their part, and that's what we're going to do this week is do our part to prepare to play a great Villanova football team.
Hey, Coach, thanks a lot for doing this. You mentioned a great Villanova football team. They score a lot, and we've seen that they're a high offensive output team. How do you guys work to kind of keep pace with this? Are you expecting kind of a shootout here on Saturday? And what do you guys do to try to slow them down?
Yeah, they average 24 points a game. They're a well-coached team. We have to do us. That's the biggest thing that I keep stressing is, we have to do us. I don't think we've done us a whole 4 quarters. We've played in great spurts in every game except one. But we've played a great first quarter. We played a great first half. We've played a great second half. We've played a great second half and third and fourth quarter. We have to put it all together, and we have to focus on us. When you watch film, and you don't take away from any team, but when you have 13 penalties, when you have two turnovers, when you have a pick six, when you jump off sides, when we don't get the right personnel in the game, when we don't do the things collectively, offense, defense, special teams, coaching staff. When you look at film, a lot of times you say, did this team beat us or did we beat ourselves? And so we have to find a way to stop beating ourselves. And like I said, it's everybody. It's everybody that's on that sideline doing their part to make sure that we're not beating ourselves. And so again, you take nothing away from any of the teams that we've played and this upcoming opponent in Villanova. But at what point do we turn on the film and say they beat us because they were just better, compared to they beat us and we had 13 penalties. They beat us because we threw interceptions. They beat us because we didn't get the right personnel grouping in. They beat us because we were late sending in a play. When do we get to turn on the film and say, man, we corrected all those things, and at the end of the day, hey, they beat us because they were just better. Then you just swallow that pill and go. But when you turn on the film and you're like, man, there's 20 things that we could have done better. What's the outcome of the game if we would have fixed these 20 things?
Is that kind of the third quarter for you guys this past week? That's kind of where it seemed to be. Campbell took control. Was that kind of an example of what you're talking about? And now you guys just got to work to put a full 60 together as close as possible.
Yes. That to me, we played strong. I thought we played a very competitive and strong first half, and then was going to get the ball back. You're up. I think it's 14-10 or 14-7 at half, and they're going to kick off, and we're going to get the ball back, and you want to go down. Again, we practice fast start. Fast start in the first play, fast start in the second half. You go down and hey, score touchdown, kick a field goal, and you're up 17-10 or 17-7, and here you go. But we get a holding penalty on the kickoff that sets us back, and then we get a false start, and then here we are playing behind the sticks that fast, and then it kind of just snowballs after that. So again, you work that in practice. Hey, fast start. How do we play fast, start fast to get us going? And that's the job of us as coaches, is getting our guys in a position to get them going in the first half, and then let's get them going in the second half.
Thank you.
What's coach?
Yes, sir.
One of the things I noticed on Saturday, the pressure that Campbell was coming with, giving in the backfield, giving Davis a tough time to try to get his feet set and pass the football. Also in the run game, they were putting a lot of intensity and pressure at the point of attack. Our running game couldn't get started. Was there any thought to bringing Freeman in that late in the third, early fourth to change the look for Campbell? Because the way they were putting pressure on our quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about so much of bringing Freeman in, because if we wouldn't have changed what we were doing, it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. That's where, as coaches, we've got to make adjustments right there on the spot. What they were doing, we needed to get our quarterback out the pocket, help our old linemen be able to not have to take that type of pressure and do some things and get some sprint outs and some boots and naked. So yeah, I mean, you could have brought Isaiah in, but if we didn't make any changes to help our old line and get the quarterback out of the pocket, I don't know if Freeman would have been any different for us if we were going to do the same thing. So we have to be able to make those adjustments and see them happening. And again, that's why I say it's everybody, and when I say everybody, let's be honest, it's going to come on coaches first. We've got to be able to see that up in the box. We got to see it on the field and say, hey, this is what's going on. What's the next thing we need to do? Hey, let's move the pocket. Let's get him out of the pocket. Let's play action. Let's boot and naked, and give us a chance to be able to play in front of the sticks. But again, when you play this game long enough and coach it long enough, when you're playing behind the sticks, they can pin their ears back and come after you. So we have to do our part to be able to make those adjustments in the second half and shoot the second series. Hey, this is what's going on. What's our adjustment to help our O-line? And again, you can't put it on them, because when you're in 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 9, D linemen, they can pin their ears back and just come and get you.
All right, Coach, what's the process like this week? You talked about it earlier, playing complementary football, offense slowing at certain points. From both of those fronts, about fixing those mistakes that you feel like have been, I guess, fixable for you guys to get wins, and also making the adjustments on offense, kind of what's been the process this week to specifically fix the things on those two fronts?
Again, knowing what our guys can do and putting them in the right situation to have success. We have to be able to really get a feel for what teams are doing. Again, I give Campbell credit. In the first half, we were able to kind of have our way of doing what we wanted to do, and then they made an adjustment and we didn't. And so we have to be able to make those adjustments, like I said, in mid series, next series, and so for us is, again, as the coaches, doing a great job of, okay, if they do this, we have to be able to be ready to do this and have a plan for it.
We got to talk to Brett earlier. It's a pretty big kicker. What were your thoughts the first time you saw a 6
I don't know if I thought so much of his size as just the fact that he was a local young man that played soccer, and we kind of knew about him from his junior year, and he really was a soccer guy, and just being this close, you get a chance to see him play, and he started playing some football, and at that time, being the special teams coordinator, you thought. He could be something. I'm proud of him because I don't know when we first got him. He was very raw, and so you felt like you didn't have to rush. But then this year we had some guys graduate, and so he kind of got thrust into kind of taking all the kicking duty, and he's performed. I'm proud of him and what he's done over the summer to prepare himself and really got himself in great shape. He's probably looks the best that he's looked from when we first got him, because like I said, he was more just a guy that played soccer. And so, he still has, 2 more years left. So him in the weight room and to be able to do what he's doing, I'm imagining that nothing but better things and greater things for him in the near future.
What was that development process like? You say he was raw coming in. What was that development process across year 1, year 2?
Just the training that he got behind our previous kicker, and being able to kind of study that, and then those guys got all kind of kicking camps that they go to, and he works at it. Once the season ended last year, and you sit down and you have your exit meetings with those guys, and you kind of talk, and we talked about him changing his body and being in better physical shape, and lifting weights and those things, and eating right, and how you study and how you prepare, and he really took that to heart and really worked at it, and you see it showing up this season, and just like I said, proud of how he's been able to grow over this last year. And so like I said, with 2 years left, I would imagine that he'll be pretty special when it's all said and done.
Last one for me, Coach. Brandon's 9 of 10 on field goals, hasn't missed an extra point all year. What's allowed him to be this consistent, and how valuable is that reliability in the special teams for you guys?
I mean, we practice special teams every day, so he gets field goal every day, and we work different situations. We work different field positions, so he gets those reps. My background is in being a special teams coordinator in the past. I understand the importance of it. It's not a lip service of what we do in our special teams. We watch film, we chart film, we practice it. It's just not, hey, kind of go through the motions and you get 2 minutes. We focus every day on some phase of special teams, and then they have a regiment that they do when we're doing offense and defensive work. They have a script that they follow that they need to practice every day with different stuff, and so it's not a total surprise that he's having success, because it's something that we stress and work on every day.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, any more questions? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.